Hello everyone, happy Friday and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course the law of attraction. In today's video, I am doing a twin flame reading, so this is a reading for the Twin Flame Collective. I don't believe in coincidences or accidents, so if you found this video, you did find it for a reason, and there may be some message within this reading that somehow provides you a bit of guidance that you might need to hear at this time. If you would like me to channel specific messages for you and for your situation, be sure to like this video and also make sure that you're subscribed, because by liking and subscribing, you are virtually signaling to me that you are energetically present here, wherever you are on the planet and whenever you are watching this reading. So because of that, I'm able to channel more specific messages based on your energy. As I was shuffling, right away the Rest and Rejuvenation card came out in the reverse position. I'm going to kick off our reading here by actually reading a little bit about this card from the guidebook. Relaxation and meditation is the upright meaning of this card, but reversed, it means that it can portend a time of bustling activity and seemingly unending busyness. You may be required to take more action concerning a project or situation. Allow yourself to do what's needed, but always remember to schedule some leisure time for yourself. When you hurry through life without a break, it fragments your energy and creates an abrasive life force, causing potential frustration in all sorts of ways. Take the time to meditate, rest, and relax. I heard the word frazzled, so I'm picking up on someone's energy here who may be either finding themselves get caught up in the busyness of life, of work, day-to-day living. This even could be someone who has found themselves getting a little bit trapped in the noise of the opinions of other people around them in some way. I'm hearing like voices of other people, voices of society. I feel like someone could be kind of struggling to get clear on hearing their own intuition in some way, or just really reconnecting with themselves because of all this noise, either literally voices and opinions from other people in their life, or more so metaphorically, the busyness of life. I am going to see if I can get more specifics on this. I do want to pause and say that I do just channel whatever comes through in these readings. Sometimes it's more related to life, soul mission, soul purpose, life purpose. Other times the messages are related more to love and romance, what we traditionally think of as kinds of twin flame themes. But the thing about being a twin flame and being on this twin flame journey through life is that this journey is all-encompassing. Although we like to focus on the love and romance element of this journey, and that's absolutely part of it, a manifestation of this energy, and it's something we experience powerfully, but there is so much more happening within us through this connection, through the vessel, the vehicle of twin flame connection that truly affects all areas of our life. Also, I do channel many different kinds of energies and information, so not everything from this reading will resonate with you personally, and that is perfectly okay. I always say this, but only take what connects with you intuitively, what feels good to you, what feels as though it is meant for you, and leave the rest. So I want to know who I'm connecting with here that's feeling a bit restless. Storm warning in the upright position. I heard two messages from this. One message was that this could be referring to someone reflecting on some kind of past metaphorical storm, either in their life or specifically with their person, with their twin flame. Some kind of tower moment sort of circumstance or event that caused them a lot of pain or confusion. I heard loss. This could have been some kind of perceived loss, either the loss of a person in their life, the loss of a job, of a dream that they had, some kind of an ego death loss, like a loss of themselves, or it could specifically be a loss within a love or relationship situation, some kind of a breakup. But I feel this situation having caused this person a lot of feelings of anxiety or restlessness, or this kind of difficulty really getting clear on their own intuitive voice, because they're hearing the loudness again of either the opinions of other people or society about this situation, or even just hearing the racing thoughts of their own fear-based mentality, what we sometimes call the ego self, the self that is really fixated on the physical and produces or infuses a lot of fear into situations. Alternatively, the second message, I said I was getting two messages from this. The second potential message from this storm warning card is that someone is actually worried about something happening in the future. I'm just getting some kind of like fear-based energy for someone here. What was this stormy situation for this person? Happy family in the reverse position. I keep hearing something about like a broken family or a breakup, but with a family. This is kind of a strange message, and this won't be for everyone, but I'm getting the feeling that someone I'm channeling here has gone through something in recent years that somehow there was either like a family issue or put them at odds with their family in some way, or just caused them to feel like an outcast within their own family, maybe because of the ways in which they changed that their family may not have fully understood or been on board with. Alternatively, this could be someone facing some of their own inner child wounding that has been coming up through life or through love, that's causing them to reflect on some kind of a family dynamic or situation. Yeah, seventh chakra in the upright position is the clarification card here. This chakra, the seventh chakra, is all about our connection with the divine. So I'm really feeling someone here who it's like, I am dealing with a person here who has gone through a very intense spiritual awakening. I heard initiation. It's like a spiritual initiation, this kind of very intense process of awakening that has somehow caused them to either feel like an outcast within their immediate community or family, to feel like they don't belong, to be at odds with these others in their physical life, or perhaps in addition to that, this person may find themselves confronting these really deep-seated generational curses. We sometimes call them these family wounds passed down from generation to generation energetically, but this person is the generational curse breaker, is the path forger, is the one who is doing something different within their family line, breaking the pattern, breaking the cycle. And this has caused this person, I heard it's been so tiring. It's so tiring being different, being the one to break the curse, to break the cycle, the pattern. And yet I can't help but continue forward anyway. My soul pulls me forward. That is what I hear this person saying. What else does this person need to know about this situation? What else does this person need to know right now? Because I feel like they need some kind of message of encouragement or guidance. I feel like this person has been through a lot of struggle. I heard gypsy, traveler. It almost feels like they're just wandering through this planet, not really fully belonging or fitting in anywhere, but just continuing to move forward where other people put down roots, or kind of metaphorically put down roots, stay stuck in certain places or patterns. This person is constantly breaking out, constantly moving forward. Earth School. I knew this card was going to come out. Life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. I'm actually going to read a little bit from the guidebook about this card. This comes from the Starseed Oracle deck, by the way. This is one of my newer Oracle decks, and I've really been enjoying it. I really would recommend it. Planet Earth is a great initiation for the soul, and life lessons are the curriculum for which we enroll. These aren't one-time lessons, but themes we choose to circle around, deepening our experience of them as we make our way through the spiral of life. Life lessons aren't only about getting it right, they're also about getting it wrong. Wow, there is something about that line that really struck me. It just gave me a wave of goosebumps because I feel like there's someone here who may have gotten at times a little bit perfectionistic with this journey, who may find themselves falling back into certain negative patterns or dynamics, or perhaps I keep seeing karmic situation, that word karmic, in my mind. So there could be some kind of a karmic that comes back into this person's life if it's a karmic pattern in the manifestation of a person or relationship. This also could be some kind of dynamic that I feel just at times pulls this person back in. I heard self-sabotage, so this person might feel at times like they're self-sabotaging. But the message here is that the learning isn't just about the breaking of the cycles. It is about the experience of the cycles. If you pull this card while you're going through a difficult time, the guidebook says, you're being prompted to remember that your soul came here to grow and learn. Try not to look at difficult times as getting it wrong. Instead, see them as opportunities for soul growth. If you can find a way to grow and soften your heart through the highs and lows, your soul is most definitely growing, which is the whole point. Really beautiful messages from the guidebook. I'm actually feeling really pulled to elaborate a bit more on how these potential cycles, specifically karmic cycles we could be experiencing collectively, might be affecting certain individuals through the experience of their twin flame connection specifically, because although we do share a lot of soul and soul mission, soul purpose, life-related kinds of messages through these readings, I do like to use the vehicle of twin flame connection, the illustration of twin flame connection, as a way for us to really understand how these patterns are affecting us. Because the beautiful thing about twin flame connection, about this journey that we're on, is that it gives us a way to illustrate the negative patterns within ourselves in a profound way through our experiences with our twin flame that really allows us to spotlight these patterns within us. And only by spotlighting them, meaning by becoming aware of them profoundly, can we then bring our consciousness, our awareness to them, and therefore heal them, transmute them. That is why really twin flame connection is so powerful. That's kind of the overarching theme of why we go through this process of mirroring, of what we call mirroring and triggering. It's for the purpose of accelerated soul growth through accelerated soul awareness of these negative patterns within us, wherever they may be. So I want to know specifically how these karmic lessons coming up are affecting twin flame connection. So I'm going to be bringing forth a few different examples here of how this could be affecting different twin flames who will be listening in the collective, because again, there are many different ways that these specific energy dynamics I channel could be affecting you and your twin. So the first card to come out here is man holding a coin in the upright position. I instantly felt this is going to be a message related to a divine masculine. So I am going to be reading a little bit about this card. Male connection in money, health, or value. This card upright shows a man sitting in a lushly flowering field, holding a large bright coin. For men, this could indicate an aspect of yourself and a readiness to go further on your goals and receive increased health, money, or value in your life. As I was reading, I heard divine masculine stepping into his power and purpose with that phrase in the guidebook, aspect of self, that really stood out to me, because what I'm feeling is that there's a divine masculine realizing the other aspect of himself, which I feel for most means the soul self, the higher self, the more intuitive, energetically sensitive self. That part of the self that can so often be so repressed, so shielded, so masked, especially by the divine masculine, because it is usually the masculine who chooses to experience the more matrix-oriented, meaning the more physically 3D-oriented life experience. So I want to know how this masculine is stepping into his power. How is this masculine stepping into his power here? Community in the reverse. Through isolation, he is finding himself. So I feel there could be many masculines who have felt lonely or disconnected. This has been a theme coming up in recent readings, so I'm not surprised it's coming up here again. I feel this masculine, either intentionally or unintentionally, has been spending a lot of time alone, physically in the 3D by himself. I hear, even when I'm around other people, I just feel a more pervasive loneliness. But this is because his spiritual awakening is kicking in earnest. So his life is going through this really intense realignment process. But of course, realignment first requires the de-alignment, the deconstruction of everything that is out of alignment with our true soul purpose and soul mission here on earth. So I want to know what this masculine is feeling through this period of isolation right now. What is shifting emotionally? And 2 cards just flew out, surrender and balance. Surrender says, I can release my need to control, and balance says, I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. I heard balancing the soul with the body, or like the soul with the mind. I feel like there could have been a masculine here who was very much in the past focused on the physical, or really in his head or in his ego space. I heard survival mechanisms. So this could have been something, a kind of habit he fell into, this habit of fixating more on the physical than the spiritual. Could have been a habit he developed because he felt it's what he needed to do in order to survive or thrive here on earth, either within his family dynamic, within relationships, friendships, society, within business. I just keep hearing him say, it's like I had to be focused on the physical, on the material, because my circumstances wouldn't allow me to open up my more sensitive side, my more spiritual side. But now it's like through this process of being alone, he is reconnecting with that inner soul self, and then achieving this balance between that soul aspect of himself and that part of his mind, the more ego-based self. What is this masculine surrendering? What is this masculine in the process of surrendering? New love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. I heard new love here, but in the context of within the same relationship, it's like I see a refresh button, like on a computer, refreshed love, refreshing this love situation. I'm going to see if I can get more specific. So how is this masculine reshuffling this love situation with the divine feminine? All tied up. So I'm hearing him say, I was really closed off to you in the past, divine feminine. So what we are creating now with me opening up to more aspects of myself, that other self, the inner self, the soul self, through that reconnection with myself, I'm actually able to open up to you in a more profound way, which is making our love new, essentially, because prior to this soul awakening I'm undergoing, when or if we would connect in the physical, you were only connecting with the unawakened aspects of myself, the aspects of myself that weren't yet fully balanced. My soul and mind were not fully balanced, so I seemed closed off. Yeah, the world reversed. I'm seeing this energy here all tied up, the world reversed. Both of these cards indicate a kind of closed offness. So I feel like this masculine is speaking to what he is shifting out of, that in the past he's been closed off, been tied up in some sense. I also heard tied up with prior obligations or arrangements. So there could be some masculine who felt obligated in some way to some other kind of like a karmic situation. There's so many different things coming to my mind. It could be different depending on your situation, but I feel like there could have been some obligation here in the physical that this masculine, it's almost like strings attached to him. It's like you felt somehow tethered to this thing or this person or this place or something that was keeping the divine feminine and masculine apart. But he's now breaking free of these things. It's almost like when you call someone and they say like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm busy, I'm tied up with other things right now. I feel like there was a masculine that kind of did that in some sense spiritually to this divine feminine. Energetically speaking, it's like she was ready, she showed up, she metaphorically called him in. But he responded at the time saying he was all tied up with something. And I heard this could have caused a lot of pain for her because she didn't understand why it's like, I was ready, I called you, but you were all tied up with something. That's kind of the energy I'm getting here. Now, in the extended version of this reading, I'm going to be addressing what this masculine could have been all tied up with in this scenario. I will be giving some examples of different things I'm channeling here. Again, that will be in the extended version of this reading, which is on our Patreon page in our beautiful Twin Flame Soul Tribe on Patreon. So if you would like to join that community and access all of the extended readings, including this one, the link to that is in the pinned comment and description box. Also, in the love word scramble, the words child and medicine came out. And for some reason, I heard a divine masculine saying, things were hard for me as a child, or it's been hard for me to open up since childhood. If any of that resonates with you, there are a lot of divine masculines who do experience inner child wounds. Now, inner child wounds, of course, can refer to literal childhood experiences or just formative life experiences, any first touch kind of experience with something that then set the tone, set the pattern for how this masculine continued to feel about that particular thing unconsciously later on in life. With the word medicine, I'm hearing someone may be a doctor, or there could be a divine masculine dealing with some kind of health issue. With the love word scramble, by the way, for those of you who are new, this is just a tool I use to channel very specific words for specific individuals. These words usually don't resonate with everyone. I just share them as I feel guided to and as they come up. So I'm going to be reshuffling all of the cards here to channel a bit more information on karmic cycles that could be being addressed, brought to the surface. I strongly felt with this Earth School card that came out earlier from the Starseed Oracle that there was some divine feminine who felt herself at times pulled back into some kind of a karmic situation that she may have kind of beat herself up about a bit or felt bad about. Like, why am I feeling tempted back into this pattern, or pulled? Like, why am I feeling the pull back into this? And I feel that she is being guided to remember, again, as I said earlier, we don't come here simply to break out of these cycles. We also come here to experience them. Only by experiencing them can we then fully understand them, acknowledge them, and then release them, break free of them. So what are these potential karmic situations that this feminine could be feeling pulled back into? Two cards came out right away, the indecision card and the deceit card. I heard deceit leading to indecision. This deceit could be perceived external lies, deceit, or manipulation. Alternatively, it could be self-betrayal or self-deceit in some way. I'm sensing a divine feminine who may be dealing with a situation where I felt played, or I'm afraid of getting played. This could be either the deceit or the self-deceit that we're dealing with here, but I do feel a divine feminine who, it's almost like from an ego-based perspective, she either feels as though in the past she was somehow played by the divine masculine, or she is afraid of somehow being played by him in the future. Or just in general, this could be a general feeling of distrust or fear of being played in relationships that is causing this kind of stagnancy. That's what I'm getting from the indecision, like this stuckness, or this feeling of, I don't want to fully commit myself for fear of being hurt or being played or being deceived into believing that I am fully loved and supported, and then not being fully loved and supported. That's what I feel that there's a divine feminine who really fears. So I want to get more information on this deceit or self-deceit leading to indecision. Let's pull some clarification cards for this. You deserve love. You are lovable. I got a whole wave of goosebumps again pulling that card, because just as I was saying earlier, this is so synchronistic, because I said that I felt I was connecting with a divine feminine who feared she was going to be played in the future. But really this comes from this deep-seated feeling of unworthiness of being fully loved, being fully supported, especially within a romantic situation. And I feel this is truly what she is healing through this coming up. And I do feel for many in this collective, this is actually something that is surfacing through the twin flame connection in some way. The words doll, party, and straw came out. I heard the last straw, so there could be someone feeling like there was some situation with the masculine that's like the last straw for them. Some kind of, I feel this is the person going through some kind of a tower moment situation earlier, where it's like someone's ego got flared up here into thinking, this is the last straw, like I'm giving up, I can't do this anymore. With the words doll and party, for some reason I heard the song When the Party's Over by Billie Eilish, and kind of this mood that I feel a divine feminine might be in, of like, I feel like people love what I present, like when I'm the life of the party, or when there's someone here who it's like can be really social and kind of have this front-facing happiness, sociableness, like persona that is somehow very different from who they are beneath the surface at times. And I feel like this person struggles with feeling like those around them love a version of them that isn't even really them. It's like what they project outwards, what they want other people to see, but it's not really who they are on a core soul level. And I feel like this divine feminine fears letting people into that inner space, into that core soul space within them. What else is going on in this situation? Adjacent possibilities in the reverse. I'm actually going to read a little bit from the guidebook for this card. This card is asking you to turn inward with a willingness to shake up your old unhealthy patterns and inner habits. The power of your life force moves through your deeply held habits, projecting your energy out into the universe and calling back your results. So it's time to decide, are you going to let worry and self-doubt define you, or are you going to step out into your ever-present, adjacent possibility of optimism, trust, and self-love? The number 777 also might be significant for this person. This was on page 77 of the guidebook. But I am feeling this pattern of projecting a false version of the self in order to be loved, but then always struggling with this feeling of unworthiness of love. This kind of self-betrayal I'm sensing from someone is a very old habit that is now being called to the surface in a more powerful way in order for them to heal this habit. But this is really challenging because, like any habit, it's very difficult to break out of and very easy to fall back into those same patterns of thinking, because the patterns of thinking are really coming from an energetic habits, a way that energy flows within us. This person is breaking down energetic walls within themselves, allowing them to show up more authentically, both in love, in their twin flame connection, if that is relevant in your 3D life right now, but as well as just in their life generally. However, this also comes with a lot of fear because it requires you to show up for yourself in a different way than ever before, to break out of a very old habit of presenting this kind of false version of yourself in order to receive love. Again, these messages won't be for everyone, so only take what resonates with you. Man holding a heart reversed also came out here. I heard release the fear of not being chosen by people who were never meant for you to begin with. When this card is reversed, it could indicate a disconnect or total shutdown regarding your emotional life. It's time to open up and know that you can handle deep emotions and the energy they bring up. I'm feeling that a lot of emotions are coming to the surface for Divine Feminine right now as she faces this greater authenticity, as she becomes the most authentic version of herself and begins to truly open herself, truly stop betraying herself, and begin showing up more authentically in her life and in love and in all of her connections. This brings up a lot of fears from time to time that I feel like she's being called to address. I just keep hearing release what isn't meant for you, release who isn't meant for you. This Divine Feminine also would really benefit from having a daily meditation practice, because I feel that this may be the same person who was struggling with all of the noise externally, the voices, the opinions of other people. And I always say that it's so essential, especially as someone who is highly sensitive, especially as someone who is a twin flame, who is on this very intense process of spiritual awakening. It's so essential to establish daily energy clearing rituals and habits, because we all do pick up negative vibrations and energies and even unconscious thoughts that become stored within our energy field. And the energy field is directly reflected in the subconscious mind. So this is actually so powerful because it means that we can address these energy blocks through the portal, through the doorway of the subconscious. So I have become so passionate about subliminals for this very reason, because subliminals are meditation audio tracks that are designed to walk through, to pass through this doorway, this portal of energetic transformation through the subconscious mind. Subliminals contain unconscious affirmations, and by unconscious I mean that your conscious mind can't hear them, but because it can't hear them, it can't reject them. So this is so powerful and such a key here, because when your subconscious mind is impressed, is altered, changes begin to happen very radically within your mind and within your life, because you are addressing the blocks at the root. This is also why I believe I was able to see such fast results in my own life from subliminals, where I'd been trying to do energy work on myself, use the law of attraction for years with no results, but then almost instantly, within just a few weeks or months of listening to subliminals, I started seeing these major changes in my mood, in my confidence, in my life. And I truly believe this is because I had these negative unconscious patterns that I hadn't been addressing through all of those years of trying to work on them. When I began addressing those negative unconscious patterns through listening to subliminals, I was then able to radically alter and reprogram my mind and therefore shift my energy in a powerful way. So because I became so passionate about subliminals in my own life, many of you know I started my own website, soundandsoulful.com, where I've created over 100 subliminals for all areas of life, and we are now adding new subliminals every single week. So on this website, you can listen to any subliminal I've created completely free for 7 days by creating a free trial account. You can even combine them into your very own custom playlist, and you can also listen to each subliminal in a variety of different background sound options. So I'm sharing all of this because this has been the single most powerful tool in transforming my own life. And throughout these readings, I like to not only share information that I'm channeling, but also offer guidance and tools that you can use on a day-to-day basis in real time to really empower yourself to shift this energy within your own life. So links to any subliminals I recommend during the course of this reading are linked in the pinned comment and description box. The subliminal I used myself to most radically alter and transform my mind was a 7-chakra clearing subliminal. This is a really comprehensive energy clearing tool to deeply reprogram your subconscious by releasing any blocks through any of the 7 chakra centers. So I will be leaving a link to that 7-chakra clearing subliminal, as well as, again, any other subliminals I recommend in this reading in the pinned comment and description box under this video. So I'm now going to reshuffle the cards here and speak both to the divine masculine and the divine feminine in the physical. You guys know I like to channel messages both from a physical 3D perspective as well as a higher self 5D soul perspective. And the reason I do this is because very often what we are experiencing energetically in the 5D within our life or within our twin flame connection can be very different than what is manifesting physically. So I do like to make this distinction just to give us some clarity on how these energy dynamics could be playing out physically in our life and really what the deeper meaning behind those physical manifestations, those emotions we feel, those interactions we have, what the deeper level meaning behind all of that could be for you. So I'm going to start with the divine feminine and just ask, what is going on with the divine feminine from a physical 3D perspective? The words married, men, and duty came out in the love word scramble. The word duty has been coming out a lot, and I took it to mean potentially active duty, someone who could be in the military. But here in this context, I'm also hearing this could have to do with someone feeling obligated in some way, feeling like it's their duty to do something. They may feel like they have an obligation to their kids, to their family, to a job, to a certain person or relationship. So that could be at play here somehow. Integration of the soul into the 3D physical consciousness. Of course, the divine feminine usually is the so-called more spiritual twin, so they usually choose to experience a more spiritual perspective here on this planet. But with the 7th chakra card coming out here in the upright position, it's interesting because I asked for messages from the 3D divine feminine, the more physically oriented divine feminine. But now the 7th chakra card, the crown chakra, connecting us with the divine, is coming out here. So I do feel this continuation of this soul integration process, this process of integrating the higher self with the 3D self, this what we sometimes call spiritual awakening, continuing for this divine feminine. And as I was saying, that man holding a heart reversed came out here, which is really interesting because when this card came out earlier, I said this could be having something to do with someone needing to release any aspect of their life that is no longer aligned with this new soul self that is emerging. And then, of course, cornucopia reversed came out here. The 1111 card, connecting with our manifestations. I just feel this overarching theme of this divine feminine in the 3D going through this spiritual awakening, learning to let go of things that are not meant for her. But in the process, she may not yet be seeing the manifestation of the things that are coming, the things that she is working towards or creating energetically. And yet, in that process of things seeming to not quite yet come together in the physical, there is this message of, with the envy card reversed, this card sometimes connects with lack, dissatisfaction. Instead of being dissatisfied with what hasn't yet manifested, hasn't yet come in her life, there is this learning to know what she cannot know, meaning to intuitively know it's happening, it's shifting, it's coming, even if I can't see it yet, to see beyond the physical through the third eye, through the soul, through the intuition, to be able to trust what she does not yet see. I feel like that is the overarching theme for this divine feminine right now. Now, if you would like assistance with really activating that third eye chakra, and as you activate the third eye, this is where the seat of our intuition is within the energy body. So as we open, activate, unblind the third eye chakra, this means we're capable of clear sight, clairvoyancy, meaning the ability to sense into the energetic realm, to see what we cannot physically see, to know what we cannot consciously know. And this is essential. Continuing to clear these energy blocks through the third chakra as they come up is essential along our spiritual awakening journey. So I've created a third eye chakra activation that is really powerful for clearing any intuitive blocks you may be experiencing and helping you to more clearly access, trust, and follow your own soul's intuition. So the link to that third eye chakra activation will be in the pinned comment and description box. But I am just going to pull a few more cards for this divine feminine in the physical. Be authentic. What a perfect card for this. Your way is the only way for you. There is definitely a divine feminine coming through here who is coming up against a lot of voices or opinions of other people or just of society generally that may be attempting to either intentionally or unintentionally steer her away from her soul's truth, what her soul knows, what her intuition knows to be true for herself and her life. The other card that came out here is reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. Now, I hear that this card actually could be specifically connected with her twin flame journey. So if there was some situation of separation in the physical between you and your divine masculine and you are a divine feminine listening, I am hearing that perhaps the thing that's you are feeling intuition about that others don't understand, but that you know from a soul perspective could be related to your twin flame, to this reconciliation, to knowing that this is your person when other people may not be able to see this connection for what it is. Again, that won't connect with everyone, just for some listening. The next card to come out from the Moonology deck is a time to give rather than take, new moon in Virgo. And I heard this card is actually a time to reap rather than sowing, a time to plant the seeds rather than seeing the harvest, trusting that the harvest is coming. So in this kind of high level metaphor, I feel this divine feminine planting seeds for her future. This could be with starting a business, some kind of new endeavor. This could be in her relationship, trusting, surrendering to the process, surrendering to what is shifting in her twin flame connection, even if she can't see the results of that shift just yet. I feel this kind of message of you are planting something that you aren't yet seeing. The other card to come out here is you and your loved ones are safe. Specifically from this card, this is the new moon in Cancer card, by the way. Someone involved here might be a Cancer or a Virgo, or those signs might be strong in their chart. You know, the interesting thing is I pulled 2 new moon cards here, and we did just experience a new moon as well. However, I also feel this energy of like a new beginning. You can trust that you are planting the seeds of this new beginning, and that new beginning is going to be the harvest, just like you trust that a seed is going to grow. However that means for you, this could be a new beginning in life and work, but for many of you, this will be a new beginning within your twin flame connection in the physical. With you and your loved ones are safe, I heard like you and your love is safe. So there's someone here who I feel has had some feeling of insecurity. I felt like our love was on the line in some way, or there's something like someone feeling as though the future of their love was on the line, or not safe, or not possible because of something that happened. Again, this won't connect with everyone, but I feel this message of guidance, like this love is protected. Your path with your person is divinely protected. And the next card that came out here is resilience. I do feel this card very literally speaking to the fact that someone has had to have a lot of soul heart resilience. I felt this wave of emotion just moving through the heart chakra there. It's like this breaking open of like, I've had to be so resilient for us, for this love, for this connection. And for me, like someone's had to be very resilient within their own life too. They've experienced a lot of setbacks, pain, difficulty. But I am going to read a little bit about this card from the guidebook to see if we can get a message of guidance. Making mistakes builds resilience. I stand strong. As we stretch and expand towards our intentions, we will most likely meet with resistance, or wait for it, make mistakes, or fail altogether. This is where resilience, confidence, and our inner knowing will come into play. This is true power from the inside out. Building our reserves of resilience, this ability to stand strong and bounce back, is something that has at its heart wisdom and learning taken from experience. Really beautiful message for someone there who I feel has had to cultivate a lot of soul strength, a lot of resilience within themselves. I am going to shuffle and see if I can pull a few more cards elaborating on what this person may have had to have resilience about, this divine feminine. I am also going to leave a link to my Twin Flame Surrender Subliminal. This is one I just created last week, but it has been immensely popular. I've received so many messages, DMs, comments from so many of you who are using this subliminal and already feeling so much peace, so much more deeply connected in with the energy of your twin flame and this connection. This subliminal is designed to really just shift you from this chaos consciousness, this confusion that can come from being in this matrix, being in this physical world, to really shift you from that into a space of total surrender to the divine, specifically within the context of your twin flame connection. And this is so powerful because through that surrender, we create what I call an energy union in the 5D with our twin flame, that then connects us to one another more deeply, more intimately, in a more manifested way in the physical as well. So the link to that Twin Flame Surrender Subliminal is in the pinned comment and description. But as I was speaking, a card just flew out of the deck, and that was the World card in the upright position. Through difficulty, through this resilience cultivated through this challenge, through this difficulty, there is this powerful, intense opening up happening. I am going to read a little bit from the Energy Oracle card guidebook about this card. This card is reminding you to expand your vision, and I heard maintain your already expanded vision, your expansive vision, rather than looking back. Contemplate some much broader options. The world is wide. There is a lot to consider. You have unlimited resources available to you. The world is your oyster. I feel like someone is feeling this tug of war happening between this part of themselves that sees this expanded vision for either themselves, their life, or this twin flame connection, who sees like the becoming, who is becoming more intuitive, more sensitive, and then this other part of them that at times feels pulled back into small thinking, potentially because of these voices around them, this kind of metaphoric noise in the world or in their life that causes them at times to falter, to pull back, or to shrink their vision. And they're really just being pushed forward into that limitlessly expansive vision for their future, for what they are planting, for what they are creating, not what has already happened in the physical. To rise above the noise here. And finally, one final card for the Divine Feminine here. You got the love, codependency, boundaries. And what I'm hearing there is setting boundaries within your life, cultivating inner self-confidence by defining, okay, this is me, this is what I believe, what I know for myself, what my intuition is speaking, what my vision for the future is. And I am choosing to allow this kind of polarity to happen, allowing myself to be polarizing, because powerful energy is always inherently polarizing. It always causes very strong, both positive and negative reactions out of others. And I feel like with this boundaries word, and you got the love, it's like, know what you know, be who you are, be fiercely authentic, and allow people to gravitate both toward you and away from you as a result of being so powerful, being so polarizing. So beautiful Divine Feminines listening, I do hope those messages were helpful to you. If they were, be sure to check out the extended version of this reading, where I will be sharing more in-depth, detailed information from your higher self, Divine Feminine, both in regards to the Divine Masculine and in regards to your life. Those of you part of the Patreon community know that very often I channel messages from the higher self to the 3D self, not just from the higher self of both twin flames to each other, but also to their own physical self, reminding them of their soul's mission and purpose here, and that kind of overarching vision, that bird's eye view perspective of what's really going on in this situation. So again, the link to the Patreon community and the extended version of this reading is in the pinned comment and description box. So now I'm going to be channeling some messages from the higher self, or actually, let's do the 3D self of the Divine Masculine, since we did the 3D self of the Divine Feminine. So what does the 3D physical self of the Divine Masculine want to say at this time? Let's start it off with a card from the Moonology deck. What does this Divine Masculine want to say from a physical 3D perspective? This is so interesting. I think I'm pulling all of the new moon cards in this deck, really symbolizing very powerful energies of a fresh start, a refresh, a new beginning. That's been very thematic through this reading. The card A Time to Give Rather Than Take, New Moon in Virgo, came out again. You guys remember this came out for the Divine Feminine as well. So both the masculine and the Divine Feminine, this signals in a powerful way to me. This isn't just one-sided. This is some kind of a seed being planted within their connection that they are planting together. And I heard whether it looks that way in the physical or not, I see them both putting in the work in some sense, either literally, physically, consciously, or more unconsciously, energetically, regardless of how it connects for you and for your person. I do see them both shifting in a powerful way, planting that seed of the future together. I also feel, because I went to pull an emotion card and so many cards came out at once, so I feel this masculine is actually feeling a lot of emotions intensely right now, whether he's expressing them or repressing them. But I am going to pull a few cards to let you know what this Divine Masculine could be feeling right now emotionally in the physical. But the second card to come out from the Moonology deck was a new start is coming. So that message has been loud and clear, fresh beginning, new start, all of these new moon imagery cards coming out here. What is this masculine feeling right now in the physical? The words oil, show, and actual came out in the word scramble, and I specifically heard what I'm showing is different than what I'm actually feeling. So there could be a divine masculine who is repressing or masking some of these feelings that I'm actually going to be channeling here. So what is this divine masculine feeling in the physical? Health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. Denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. Let's see what else is going on here before I put these messages together. Forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. And trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly, but I heard I first have to learn to hear that inner voice. So I feel this divine masculine. First of all, let's put all of this together here. Many different emotions coming out. With the trust card, I heard awakening and learning to trust what he is awakening to. So I do feel this speaking to what we discussed earlier with this divine masculine, continuing this intensification of this spiritual awakening process. And through this awakening, learning to, I heard meeting, becoming familiar with that other aspect of himself, that more sensitive part of himself, that more soulful aspect of himself, and then learning to hear and trust what he is awakening to, this newfound knowledge of self and of life and of the universe that he is coming into through this awakening. And I heard this is a slow process at times. Because I hear this masculine saying, it's easier for me to trust what I can see, but I'm learning to trust in the unseen, and that's very difficult with me. I'm also hearing him say to the divine feminine, be patient, because this is a slow process of slowly learning to trust those more sensitive, more soulful parts of myself. Earthed, learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. With this forgiveness card, I hear forgiveness in terms of letting go of everything that has long blocked me from fully loving and being loved. What is this masculine letting go of here? Broken heart. So there's some kind of heartbreak. Either that this masculine was hurt in the past through previous relationships, and this caused this kind of pattern of heartbreak. I'm hearing pattern of heartbreak, so this is either a relationship experience or a platonic, a more familial experience. This could be coming from a heartbreak that is much more deeply seated, a kind of inner child wound, a kind of my parents or my family or early experiences in my life broke my heart in some way and caused me to close myself off. But I'm now learning to release those patterns of heartbreak, those heart blocks around myself, forgiving them, releasing them, in order to allow the greater flow of love. And I will be channeling in the extended more information on what these broken heart experiences could have been for this masculine, how this masculine is healing his heart. So the link to those messages will be in the pinned comment and description box, as well as higher self love messages from this divine masculine, because this reading is getting a bit long. So I am going to close it out with just one more card here because we are approaching the hour mark. So what is one final message from this divine masculine? What is one final message from this divine masculine here? Stay the course. You are moving in the right direction. I hear him almost on a higher self level here, speaking to the divine feminine, who again could have been feeling a lot of feelings of indecision, with the indecision card coming out before, meaning a kind of stagnancy in her life, a kind of, I'm planting these seeds, I'm shifting this energy, but I'm not yet seeing it play out in the physical. Can I trust it? Can I trust the direction that I'm going in, the direction we are going in together as twin flames within this connection? And I hear the masculine saying to her, stay the course, continue to show up authentically with yourself. Continue to trust your inner voice and guidance, and I am continuing to do the same. And together, we are planting the seeds for this new beginning that we are going to reap the harvest of, that is going to manifest in our lives. But it requires of us deeper levels of trust, deeper levels of surrender. So I'm going to go ahead and close out these initial messages here. If you would like to head over now with us to the extended portion of the reading, the link to that is in the pinned comment in description. We will be getting into more details in the extended, as well as channeling more higher self-love messages from both the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine to one another. In those spaces, the pinned comment in description box, I will also be leaving links to all of the subliminals I recommended during this reading, which were the 7 chakra clearing, the 3rd eye chakra activation, and the twin flame surrender subliminals. All of those, again, are linked in the pinned comment in description. You can try out any of them completely free for 7 days, as well as any of the more than 100 subliminals I've created by making a free trial account on my website. And again, all of that information is below. If you do enjoy these readings, please do subscribe to this channel, join our community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself. I hope you will join us back here again on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a wonderful, beautiful rest of your week and weekend, and I will talk to you again in Monday's reading.